Hey everybody, Alex Aquarius here. Welcome to the Plain Mundane Show. Today I'm going to take you from the word Paddock to the word Vega, and I'm going to show you how I did it. Alright, let's go over to my screen and I'm going to show you the process of my investigation. Some of you may know I'm bilingual, so I'm thinking about this in Spanish. Some people may know a paddock is usually an enclosed area, according to Merriam-Webster, for pasturing or exercising animals. An enclosure where racehorses horses are saddled and paraded before a race. An area in an automobile race course where racing cars are parked. Okay, some people might say his name was Paddock because the people he was allegedly shooting at were in a paddock. They were in a fenced-in enclosure. But I went deeper than that. Let's look on Wikipedia. What is a paddock? It has the same definition above of the stable, fenced-in animal area. But it says in New Zealand and Australia, however, a paddock is a field of grassland of any size, especially for keeping sheep or cattle. Normally fenced, which means it's not always, and defined by its natural boundaries, or it's otherwise considered distinct. Now, in Australia, the word seems to have had its current meaning since 1807, and in New Zealand since 1842. However, the English meaning of field was used earlier in Australia. So now we have the word field, and is still occasionally used. Similarly, meadow was in early use. So now a paddock is a field or a meadow of any size, with or without a fence, or enclosed by natural boundaries such as hills. See this picture here, this cow and this beautiful green meadow surrounded by what looks like some hills and some mountains off in the distance. Now, let's look at Yahoo. What is a paddock? Same definitions. A sacrifice paddock. In the winter, pastures get pretty much destroyed, and it makes it much harder for grass to grow back in the next summer. So a lot of people have sacrifice pastures, which is the pasture that they allow to be ruined. Looking down here at the Collins English Dictionary, it says synonyms are field, meadow, or pasture. Okay. Look up on Yahoo, what is a meadow? Meadow, land that is covered usually or mostly with grass or wildflowers blooming in a meadow. A tract of grassland in its natural state or used as a pasture. So it can be land of any size, unfenced, in a natural state. It doesn't have to be a green meadow now. You see where I'm going, folks? Now, let's see. So then I switch over to Spanish, and I put in what I know as a wide, open, natural plain, is a llanura in Spanish, which is L-L-A-N-U-R-A. And it's a lowland, they were saying in these other definitions. So I put in terreno bajo, lowland, and llanura. This was in Yahoo, and I get the term is the surface or the flatness of an area, a floodplain. Okay. So now we've gone from paddock to a floodplain. Okay. Llanura is a field or a terrain without highs or lows. So that means it doesn't have any highs or lows. It's level. It's a lowland, natural, unfenced area of any size that doesn't have any higher lows. Normally doesn't have any wooden or rocky structures. The Free Dictionary says llanura is a field or a terrain that's all the same and very wide without any highs or lows. It can be a floodplain. It can be formed by the accumulation of floods from a river or a dry lake bed. Now we've gone from paddock to dry lake bed. Think of Groom Lake. Think of those lakes there. They're not very deep and they're flat, but when it does rain in the desert, sometimes they're flooded enough to where the runways can't be used. So that seems to be what the city is named over, is the dry lake beds that surround that area in Nevada, the Vegas, Las Vegas in Spanish. So look up in Spanish on Wikipedia, what is a vega? Una vega, llanura aluvial, which means a floodplain. A flooding plain, or a valley of flooding. A terrain that's low-lying, so that means a low-lying floodplain. It can be flooded, or it can be flooded by rising waters, such as by a current or a source nearby. So that can be like a local river or a stream that feeds into it. If you look on Google Earth and you look up a lot of these dried out riverbeds in Mesopotamia and rivers that show up that were you anciently were obviously flowing, but now they're dried, you can see them from the high altitude pictures. So look at that. A paddock is a vega. Las Vegas are the Paddocks. The Paddocks, as in the brothers. When that hit me, I was like, wow. Then I started thinking of the Lanzas, Adam Lanza, who never existed. His life story was made up as a composite from his brother and a Photoshop picture of his brother, and he was inserted in there from data from someone else's life. Could Stephen Paddock be a composite ghost figure made up from his brother? And they are named after Las Vegas. You know, when it rains on the plain, it stays there mainly. Or so says certain. Remember My Fair Lady, the rain in Spain stays mainly on the plain? Think about that. Dry lake beds. A flat plain, a plain mundane. I named my show The Earthly Plane because I believe in flat earth. The whole earth could be a Vega. Okay? So then that could tie into this theory that maybe the powers that should not be are slowly cluing us into flat earth. So anyway, that's it for my rant right now and the things that I figured out. Where the Paddocks are Las Vegas. Literally. I just showed you the chain from the word paddock all the way to Vega. And now I'm real excited. So I'm going to check out of here. Thank you for watching. I'm out.